te, tetted, tettetett, tettet, te, tettetett, tettek, tettese, te. That's a tongue twister. And it means, did you do this feigned deed, you feigned deed doer, you? Let's try to type it. Te, tetted, tettet. I think there's another. Oh my gosh. Te, tetted, this. Tettetett, tet, tet. I think that's how you say it. Let's let's check it. Ah, I got it right. And let's hear it.
Tettetted, tettetett, tettet. Tettetett, tettek, tettese, te.
Okay, there's so much going on here, and it all has the root of tests to do. So let's break this up. This one's an interesting one. So let's um, let's copy this. So the word te means you. So here we go. So you did. So tetted is to do something in the past tense. So you did, and it's definite. So there's a definite doing, a definite deed that was done. So it is a poetic way of saying this. So usually as is this, as a. So usually if you want to say this, like this deed, you would say as a tettet. So as a tettet means this deed, but a shorter way or more poetic or literary way is to say tettet, which also means this deed. And because I always think I understand, but I'm usually uh, just self-delusion. I want to just make sure. Um, that, that equal to um, as that, that. Is it the same thing? No, it doesn't mean it. See, good instinct. Angulo. I don't understand the word. Okay, here's the explanation. Does tettet mean as a tettet? No. What is a? It's a very old, is an old, very short demonstrative pronoun meaning this. It's a shortened form of as a, but it must stand directly before the noun and it doesn't inflect. So what does a tettet means? This deed. Why is as a tettet wrong? Because as a noun cannot take the object subject t. Ah, it would be est tettet. Ah, see? It's like playing chess with somebody who's thinking more steps ahead of me than I am. So I guess I should say that is it equal to est that that. And let's see if it's happy now. Igen, punto schon. Yes, exactly. Az egi rövid forma az est a helyet. So just having the is a short form of just having as. And because it was an accusative and we always have to put the endings on the word as, then that's why it marked me wrong. Okay, so as a tetted this deed, a tetted this deed. Okay, so I could have said because the deed itself is in accusative, so I could have said eh, tet. I think the deed is just tet, right? Equal to as tet question mark. No. Okay. It seems to say yes, it is, but that's what I wrote up here, isn't it? Okay. Maybe there's some nuance that I'm not understanding. Ungulul. Here it says yes. Here it said no. Uh, look, I said, is this equal to this? And it said no. But here in English it says yes. Oh my God. ChatGPT is always good for absurdity. If you want a good laugh, use ChatGPT. Okay, let's let's look at each word. So did you? So that's you. And this is the past tense of do. You did this deed. Okay, so the deed part is here in accusative. This word just means it has been pretended. It's the word for pretending is tettet, which is related to tess in a very, very faint way. So tetted means feign or pretend. It's a verb. And past tense of that, tet, tet, is feigned. So it can be an adjective, like any past particle can be a adjective, past particle, past participle. And let's just look at how in the world does tetted originally have a root with tess? Because it's not as intuitive as it might be. So it comes from the word tettek, which means to like, which is an older variant of tetsek plus tet. So the tet is uh, a suffix to cause somebody to like something. And tetsek comes from an old verb tettek, which means to seem or to appear, and that comes from tess, from which it's not even admitting to doing. So tettek, etymology, etymology. Let's see if it can tell us if this comes from the word tess. Um, uh, see, tess, causative, turned into tettek, is made to do. So, in a very roundabout way, the word tettet, which means to pretend, came from a word tetsek, which was originally an archaic form of to make somebody do something. So, tetsek is a word that means to appeal to somebody. So, uh, and that turned into to like. So when something appeals to somebody, uh, if you make somebody, if you make something appeal to somebody, then you like that thing, I guess. And somehow that turned into to pretend. Anyway, so tettet means to feign or to pretend, And tettetett is the past tense or the past participle, so it turns into an adjective. So it's this pretended deed, this feigned deed. So you did this pretended deed. Did this pretended deed. Okay. And then the second half, you pretended deed doer you. You so you doer of pretended deeds. You pretended deed doer you. All right. I think we've beat that one to death. Here, tettek. Just so a deed is a deed, and plural is this tettek. So that's plural deeds. And when it's an you pretended deed doer. So in this case, even though deeds is a plural noun, we're using it as an adjective. So you pretended deeds doer. You pretended, this should be a plural, deeds doer. You. And a tettese is a person who does things. So it's a doer. All right, let's go on to the next one.